So this weekend we have the next round of the Klucth Kickers 100K Drift Series. It's going to be round 2. So we went to the first round. It's called the 100K Drift Series because there's $20,000 in payouts each round, which is incredible. It brings out a ton of amazing competition, like big boy cars, big boy drivers. Like it's sick, and that was the main reason for going. So when we went there last time, we had a bunch of issues with the car, mainly steering stuff and some other little issues. Missed a lot of practice time. Ended up going from the electric column we had to just manual steering and kind of learn the manual steering as we went through the comp, and we somehow managed to take home second place and $5 grand. So this time I want things to go differently. I want to make sure the car is as good as it can be because we have some really tough competition. I mean, we lost in the finals to a 1,000 horsepower Pro 1 FD car with 285 Nexen tires with a Pro 1 driver. You know, I mean, there is some serious competition, and you know, we're definitely kind of the underdogs. We got 350 horsepower running 225 tires at the most, and you know, we got to really make sure the setup is optimized to make sure that we are competitive. If it's not, we're not going to be competitive. So power steering has always been a nuisance on this car. Burned up F-body pumps. Electric pump didn't work out. Electric column had a terrible feel, and you know, I tried to get used to it, couldn't get used to it, went to manual. And if we can eliminate power steering from the car, it's going to make life way simpler. It's one less system to fail. So before I go back to a normal pump where we're going to have a bunch of crap here and the way longer belt and way less room to work, and again, another system that can fail, I want to give the manual steering a fighting chance. So we're going to go into this round, we're going to use the manual steering again, but we're going to try to optimize the car for the manual steering, as well as making a bunch of other upgrades, which we'll get to in a bit. So first order of business, lightweight wheel and tire setup. So I've always wanted a set of Inky RPF 1s. We have Inky RPF 1s in 15, so they're super lightweight. They're also black chrome, which is like my favorite finish on these wheels, so I'm very excited about that. We're trying out some new tires. We got these 205 Nitto NT05. So I normally run these 225 Federal RSRRs, but you know, I have some problems with these kind of dropping off grip really hard when they're not dead yet, and not lasting very well if they get some heat into them and things like that. So we'll have those tried and true. They worked for us last time, but we're also going to be trying out these Nitto NT05s. So these are 205s. They're a little smaller, but I think they'll have similar grip and last longer. I'm not sure. We're going to try them at least in the front. We'll have them. So we got those. We got lightweight wheels. We got spacers and everything we need to get our fitment dialed in. So first order of business is to get our lightweight wheel and tire combo on. So I kind of cheated. I already opened this box, but look at these, and oh man. So super nice packaging. You got this nice, beautiful inky wheel cover. Look at that finish. Oh, I love the black chrome. These are so light. I wonder if I can hold them with 2 fingers. No problem. These are super lightweight, and they're 15 by 8. So for a 15 by 8, I think they're, I'd have to look up the weight. I think it's like 12 pounds or something, 12 or 13. Very light. But coolest thing to me is they come with this nice anodized blue aluminum bolt-in valve stem. Like, that is so sick, because that is one thing I always forget when I get wheels. I forget valve stems. I go to mount tires and I'm like, oh crap. So these come with some nice valve stems. We got a sticker. I'm assuming this is for the wheel. I wonder where I'd put this on the lip. So yeah, I'm gonna get this valve stem in, get the other wheel unboxed, and the valve stem in that, and then we'll throw our front tires on. So I put this plastic duckbill back on our tire machine. This was on here when I first started using this machine, and it was such a nuisance. Like, it just, I don't know, it just was always a pain to get the tire on and off, and I finally put this metal one back on, but this thing eats wheels. No matter how offset you put it up and out, it just ends up digging into the wheel, or it's too far away and the tire doesn't want to come off, and I really do not want to mess these wheels up, so we're going to try the plastic one and see if we can make it work. It's been a while since I've used this one, so not really sure how this is going to go. So I learned to mount tires in Japan. Like, I'd done it before, but that was when I really had to mount a bunch of tires and got kind of proficient at it. And over there, the driver's side is our passenger side. So I always learned to mount that driver's side first, which here is our passenger side. So now I always mount the passenger side first. So that way, when you're mounting pairs, you don't mix them up. That's what's weird about this thing. I don't know. Let's try it. 15s are usually pretty easy to mount, so it might not be that bad. The Nittos are nice and gooey, at least. Oh yeah, look at that, success. Didn't scratch it off. Hell yeah. We've got to break out the cheetah. doesn't make any sense. It's a 205 on an 8. Funny how that works. Like certain tires just don't like the seat, and then other tires, same size, same wheel, will seat no problem. One down, 6 to go. Wow, this is still really, really light. All right, I'm gonna put some music on and just jam through this. All right, I got all the wheels, tires mounted up, ready to go on the car. But here's a quick little size comparison. I decided to mount one set of Federals on these, on my RPF ones, one set of Nittos as rears. And you can see the Federals are honestly bigger than I expected difference-wise. You know, like I thought these were gonna end up being pretty close, but the Federals are definitely noticeably bigger. So I'm real curious how this will pan out. I'm definitely gonna bring enough Federals to last me the whole weekend, just in case the Nittos aren't up to par. But I really do wanna try them out and see how they are. So yeah, let's get them on the car. Okay, so for the front, we're kind of in a weird spot offset-wise. The wheels are plus 28. I need generally a minimum of by 0. Like if it's a 15 by 8, it needs to be by 0, and then it maybe won't rub. So anyway, I got 35 mil spacers. They might be too much. We might be able to get away with 25s, but we're gonna try the 35, see how it looks, see how it is. And then if anything, we might try the 25s as well. So we got a little bit of poke. We could definitely get rid of all of the poke if we went through with a 25 mil spacer. But again, I think we're gonna need all 35. Yeah, we're probably gonna need all 35. Really won't know until we drive the car because under load it gets a little more angle and will rub when it won't rub in the air sometimes. So I wanna test it out on 35s. I have a set of 25s I can throw on if the 35s are too much or whatever. So I'm gonna throw the other side on and then we're gonna move on to the rear. We gotta do some makeshift stuff for the rear. So these are all the different spacer options I've kind of amassed. So we've got some 5 mil slip-on, some 10 mil slip-on. So I use these for a lot of my 15 by 8s that are like plus 20 or so, just to get them a little more fitted because a lot of times they're usually really sunk. We got 35 mils that came off the front, and then I ordered some 25 mils. Now what I'm gonna do with these is use them as slip-ons. I couldn't find hub-centric 4x100 slip-on spacers in this size, 25 mil, 20 mil, even 15 mil even. So what I'm gonna do, I don't want to bolt the wheel here, you know, like slide them on and then, you know, have the studs coming through here, because then there's going to be nothing to support that concave hole at the back of the wheel. So what I'm going to do is knock these studs out, drill these holes out a little bit if I have to, and then bolt the wheel on so it has good support. So, that is my plan. Let's get to it. All right, we've got our fresh studless spacer. Shouldn't even have to drill the holes out. Beautiful. We still have enough meat left on the lugs though. Oh yeah, for sure. that might be perfect. All right, time to drop her down, see what she looks like. Well, the fitment is spot on. We need to get her outside. Dude, this thing looks sick! That color looks great on there. Man, I love it. Not bad for some freaking competition wheels. Man, I've always loved this black chrome, and boy does it look snazzy on there. Oh, I'm so hyped. I was worried they might look a little too small. I've gotten accustomed to the look of 16s on this car, but now we've got super lightweight 15, lighter tires, lighter everything. It should really kind of suit the car a little better, having a nice lightweight wheel setup, you know, especially running manual steering. So, I mean, there might not be a difference between the lighter wheels and the heavier wheels. I do want to try the 3-piece wheels back on the front, drive it like that, and just see how it is. Basically, my game plan is, so you're limited in options until you get to 17s, which I've tried 17s. They look ridiculous. They're too big. They barely fit. So with 15s, there's much better options for cheap, sticky tires like these Nitto NT05s or the Federal 595 RSRs or Falcon 615Ks, but there's not really any good options for like a fun event tire. You know, these are 200 tread wear. That's kind of like your sticky tire range, right? And then pretty much above 200, you know, 250, 280, 300, and then like low 300s in that range. Those are really good like fun event tires because they've got good grip still, which we need because we're running a 205, but they still last well. So anyway, in 16, there's a ton of those. There's like nothing in 15, really under like 400 or 500 tread wear until you get down to the 200 tread wear tires. So it's basically either like all season or sticky boy. So with 16s though, there's a ton in the mid range in the 200 to 300 tread wear range to low 300 tread wear range. So those are perfect for fun events. So basically my plan is get some more 16s, get rid of some of my 15s, have 15s only for comp, and then, you know, competition stuff, running the sticky tires, running the same tires, get some 16s and run 16s for the fun event, run 205, you know, 200 to 300 tread wear tires, which I think will be perfect. Because right now I run 300, 400, 500, well, really like 400 or 500 tread wear tires, mostly 500 tread wear Hankook V2s, and I just wish I had like 10, 20% more grip. Like, they're almost enough, but like not quite enough for how much power the car makes and stuff. Like, you just want a little bit more. So I'm excited to try 16s and you know, other tires that might have like that good middle ground of grip. Competition setup looking mint. Oh, I'm stoked on it, man. I am so hyped to see this thing on these wheels. Oh, and then so I did some stuff that wasn't really video worthy, just in my spare time, and one of the things was replacing this rear window. So basically when I got this hardtop, it's a Treasure Coast like lightweight hardtop. It had this rear window, which had stickers all over it. You can kind of see what's left of them, and then looked like this. Like, this is how it looked when I got it. And it was miserable. Like, trying to back out of a pit spot, you literally couldn't see anything behind the car. You'd be backing up and just hoping and praying. And basically I had these small vintage mirrors, which are right down there right now, and then I got these mirrors. They suck too, can't see anything. So finally Ben had this lying around. I was like, hey, if you want, you know, throw it on your car. So this one's really nice because it's already formed. The other one is flat. This one already had the form to it. So I painted this border around where the seal area is. We got this thing screwed in. It's got these vents, which I got the vents we need to put over those in the mail, so I'll put those on real quick. But yeah, now I can see out of it, and it looks a million times better with a clear back window. I'll show you some before and after pictures right now because, I mean, it was insane. I realized that thing was gross and bad and whatever, but you don't realize how bad it is until you see it, juxtaposed to a clean one. It's just kind of funny. So anyway, yeah, we got some vent deals to go in here. So let's try to put those in. All right, so I think these are supposed to just snap in. Oh, they're gonna have to go in from the other side. Huh, how does that work? Huh. I've seen these particular ones in here because they go like that. So, when it rains, air can get out, but water can't drop directly in. These definitely seem like the right size. Okay, there we go. You just had to manhandle it. Oh, that's cool. You can close it. And then, oh, look at that. Sick. All right, cool. They're even better than I thought they were. Boom, closed. Open. Sweet, hell yeah. That was easier than expected. Oh, I gotta rotate this one, it's a little crooked. There we go. Sick. I feel like I like that. It gives it a nice little racy look. All right, what's next? I think we need to move on to interior stuff. Okay, so on the inside here, I have made some improvements. Well, one, I put this steering wheel / helmet hook and I tightened it down too much and broke my little lights. So now we only got one little strip, but I mean, they work pretty good. Being a little tiny strip. But yeah, so we got a steering wheel hook. We also changed to a 350 mil steering wheel. So this is actually my second place wheel from the last round of Klucth Kickers. But the reason for this is just a little bit more leverage, mechanical advantage over the wheels. Having the bigger wheel will help with that. I've wanted to do a 350 wheel for a bit now, but I really liked my Vertex wheel, but I was like, oh, I can put that in the Subaru. So it makes me happy. Keep the Vertex wheel in service and try out a different wheel for this. I also tried out a different spacing. So this is like basically not dished at all. I put a 1-inch spacer, so it's probably about an inch further forward than my old wheel. So I'm gonna try that out. Just messing around with some ergonomic stuff. I took the gauges that I had here. Now that I have the Holly, I wasn't using them. Put them in the FC. So I had just holes here. It looked real janky. So I made this delete plate out of aluminum to match the one behind the Holly from LRB Speed. Wrinkle blacked it like I did that one. And then this end cap for the tombstone here. Normally this is just like, this is meant to hook to like your center console. So it looked really ugly by itself. So I've had this cap for a while and I finally got around to wrinkle blacking it and putting it on. Really happy with it. So clean. It came out so good. I really, really like it. Interior is a big thing for me because, I mean, this is where you are when you're using the car. So it's like, I like doing interior modifications. So anyway, last thing we need to do on the inside here is this handbrake. So I made the remote mounted handbrake setup a long time ago. It's been through some revisions and this is the handle we have now. It's just like a solid inch thick steel rod. So somebody made me a really nice lathed piece that's aluminum, but we've got to basically add to it these tabs and this bottom sleeve to make it all mount up correctly. And then we'll have a nice aluminum handle in here. It's a little thicker. So I'm excited for that. So first thing we got to do is get this one out so that we can basically jig the other one off of this, just make it essentially exactly the same. Because I really like the positioning of this one and it's in a good spot, doesn't interfere with the shifter. So that is what we're doing. Working on the inside of a cage car is always a bit of a struggle. Old handbrake handle. This one's been Old Faithful. We went through a couple versions. I'll show you V1. I take it with me to events in case, because the V2 was a little sketchy. I thought it might break, so I used to take V1 with me. I still do. I need to take it out of the bag. So V1 is 4 pieces of aluminum. I didn't have anything this thick. I don't have a mill or anything. So 4 pieces of aluminum I welded together, ground down, and then drilled holes in. But you can see, basically, instead of having the heim joint in the middle like I have it on this one, I had it on the side. So when you would pull back, all of the pressure would be on this side and the whole thing would want to rotate and pull towards you. So eventually it bent, as you can see. So we did V2, which was kind of like this, but hollow inside, and I still had it mounted on the side, and kind of the same thing happened. So this one I went with a 1/2 inch or so solid steel rod. This thing's heavy. This thing's probably, I don't know, 8-10 pounds, and then welded the tabs on so the heim joint would pick up in the middle, and then welded this sleeve on the bottom that's like the exact size for the bolt to go through, so it's got no play. This is a really a really good setup. This one works really well. So basically we're just gonna make the same thing out of aluminum. So I had a viewer send in this really nice one that he did on a lathe. You can see like even machined in the grip marks on the top here. This thing is absolutely beautiful. He made it really long because he wasn't sure how long it needed to be, so that way I can cut it down. I'm gonna make it a tiny bit longer just in case I mess up something up and I need to redo it. That way I have a little more length left, so I'll probably make it like a ½ inch or so longer. So it really shouldn't be too complicated. Again, it's just super nice. I've been putting it off because I don't wanna mess it up trying to make it work. So today is the day. Let's get to it. All right, we got our piece drilled. There's not a lot of meat there. The reason for that is when I drilled the hole, the other one, I made it a little low. I made it a little bit low, and without pulling this whole plate out and making new tabs, it's gonna stay that low. So I've got to make this as small as possible. I didn't think about that when I ordered the 1-inch round, but I think this will work out. It'll give us a nice thick flange to weld to. Just gotta make sure to try not to distort it too much. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down, try to get this welded on. Oh man, I'm an idiot. I could have just used this. I don't know why I didn't think about that. I ordered that other bar a long time ago and it never showed up, and then I ordered it again and I could have just used what was left off this. Like, I'm so stupid. I don't know why I didn't think of that. All right, let's try not to mess this up. We gotta crank the amps up. All right, I got her welded up. I test fitted it in the car, fits great. So I marked where our tabs need to be for the spherical joint. So I just need to go measure that joint so I can set them the right distance apart, and we need to cut and make some little tabs for this. All right, this part is gonna be a little tricky because we need to get this spacing right, but it's aluminum, so it's like we can't use a magnet to hold everything together while we tack it. Calipers, so I checked our spacing. All right, well, I got it done. It was a little frustrating of a project, didn't come out very good. Spare handle, this handle, with me to the event just in case, but I mean, I think it'll be okay, but you never know. Gotta let it cool down. Took a lot of heat to get everything to weld all right, and then we'll throw it in. All right, I got it in, finally in. I decided to redo the tabs. I made them a little tight on purpose to kind of have them bow out and then come back to keep everything tight with the spherical joint, so I didn't have, I don't know, I thought it would look better. Seems pretty sturdy. I can only weld the inside of one because once I welded the other one on, there was no way to get the TIG torch in the inside. So I did a double pass on this side just to really add as much strength as I could, and came around the top, so I think they'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it. It looks really nice though. It's in the right spot. I have to have it tilted over a little bit to the left just because of where it mounts. It's almost a little too far over, but solid. Oh, it feels a lot nicer too. Oh, and check this out. A lot of people ask me what gloves I use, and I found these. They're fast house gloves. So they're for motocross, but they have like a suede palm. So they work great for like steering wheels, like on pretty much any steering wheel, and they're 30 bucks, and they're really nice. And I like the short cuff ones instead of the long cuff ones. You know, because usually I'm wearing short sleeves, it's hot out. It feels silly to have a glove that comes down to here. So I picked up some new ones since we're not running the red on the steering wheel anymore. We got black and white. Oh yeah. Got our big 350 wheel. I'm excited to try out this setup ergonomically. I think it's going to be a nice change of pace. Oh, this has a lot of grip with this setup right here. Oh, this is beautiful. I love it. We got a guy coming to replace the windshield Thursday, so we got that covered. That's good. I was a little worried about that. Kept putting it off, forgetting about it. Sweet, we're done with the interior for now. I do eventually, I want to get some new seats, probably between this coming round and the next round. I'd like to put some different seats in here, but that's why I haven't put the passenger one back in since AJ from Bell did our oil line cover. He had to take it out to do that. It's a pain to get the seat in, and I want to change them anyway, so I just haven't bothered. Man, I'm so stoked on how that looks in there. Looks right at home. So, the last thing I have to do is put those mirrors on with the stick-on things, but they got delayed today. They'll be here today, but UPS usually comes late. Other than that, I gotta mount some tires before the next round and load up, but the car is as ready as I think it's gonna be. I already did an oil change, nut and bolt check. We got the same alignment as last time because it's set up for tire wear, for, you know, to make the tires last as long as possible, camber-wise and everything, and I don't have any toe-in in it. A lot of people toe-in for grip, but I prefer to have the tire life than just a little more grip, or sometimes a lot more grip. But anyway, leaving it the same. We'll change out the track if we need to, feel the need to. All right, so these are the Convex Lenses. You can see they fit freaking perfectly. You can see the difference between the Convex. Come on. Obviously, this is way more wide angle. So, lost my double-sided tape. These didn't come with any, so I'm gonna try to epoxy them on. I don't know. I definitely don't want them coming off, and double-sided tape is a little sketchy. All right, I got those epoxied up, got them taped on, and they're sitting, you know, essentially level. But I use that tape to kind of squish them down a little bit more. But they should work really good, assuming the lenses stay on them. And like, it's not even that noticeable that there's a lens stuck on them. So I'm hyped on that. This is actually Chelsea Denofa's idea. I was trying to figure out what mirrors to use, and he was like, oh, I use the old ones, and then I just put the little stick-on convex things on them. But anyway, let those dry. What, Sandy? Sandy. While I was waiting for those to cure, I went ahead and got the rest of my tires mounted up. We've got 5 pairs of 225 Federals, so that's enough to last us the whole comp if the Nittos are not good or not even close to the grip level of the 225s. And we got 2 pairs of Nittos, and then we'll have a spare set of fronts that are the white wheels I used last time. So we'll have 7 pairs in total, right? Is that right? 7, yeah, 7 pairs, 8 counting what's on the car. So shouldn't be too bad. Truck shouldn't be squatting as much this time. We definitely brought way too many tires last time. Didn't need that many. So hopefully the Trax is good on tires this time. It is going to be warmer, I'm guessing. So probably, I don't know. Anyway, these have been drying. JB Weld's cure time is always a bit optimistic. So I'm not going to take the tape off yet, but I am going to go ahead and just get them mounted up on the car. Yeah, here, take a look at what it looks like before. I bought some nice AP racing mirrors, but I would have to like build a bracket to mount them, and they were pretty small, and they still weren't convex enough. Like that's really what I wanted. So, because you know, I'm not driving this car down the road. I don't need to see 10 cars behind me. I need to see like right around me to make sure I don't run people over or run into someone's tow rig or something. So anyway, this is what these look like. These are my eBay AP racing mirrors. I'm going to say, if you're going to buy this style of mirror, suck it up, spend the $200 and buy the AP ones. One, they weigh like 0 ounces. They were ridiculously light, much nicer. The ball joint is way tighter. This one, like you look at it wrong and it's out of adjustment. And they are wider angle than these by a good amount. I'll put a picture up here. I took a picture. They're really nice mirrors. I just, you know, these already had those old school mirrors, and it was like $20 to buy those lenses, and I think that'll work better. So yeah, let's put the other ones on. Do the snap Ruski. Hold on, let's get this. We'll do a good snap. So ready, set. I can't tell if these fit the look better, or I haven't even really looked at them actually. I just kind of put them on and snapped. So you can have them up the other way or down like that. I think it looks cleaner down like that. I tried them the other way too, and it was like, eh. But I can see them just fine, and they definitely work like exactly what I wanted. I can see everything back to like in this area, no problem, on both sides. So I'm stoked. I mean, they look pretty good. They're nice, clean, and simple. I'm kind of indifferent. The other ones that kind of fit the theme of the car more, it's more like racy looking, especially with these wheels and tires, but I think those look cleaner because the other one's a little too big for the car. But anyway, I'm gonna let those dry, and then we're essentially done with this thing for now. Done with everything I know of, at least. So I guess that is gonna be it for this video. I plan to get the Fummins in here, get the Ford in here, and put the Cummins in it tomorrow. And the next day, and then we're off to Klucth Kickers. It just depends on how much time I have, but I mean, that's why I was trying to get everything done now. To this car, we do have one more thing, the diff bushing. I've been waiting on those for like 2 weeks. The guy said he sent them out. Replacement diff bushing. So that is the last thing we will have to do. But anyway, let's try to get everything done on this car so we can take some time, work on the Fummins build, and then head to Klucth Kickers and go compete. Real Shredder's coming out again. Some new people coming out that weren't there last time. It should be really fun. The last one was nuts, so I'm excited for this one. But for now, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Goodbye.